6 Americans escape when militants take over the U.S. Embassy in Tehran.
We do not believe the Iranians are aware the 6 have escaped.
Taking refuge with the Canadian ambassador, if discovered, they will be executed.
It's winter. You can't afford to wait around until spring, so it's nice enough to take a bike ride. The only way out of that city is the airport.
So CIA specialist Tony Mendez plans to rescue them by posing as a movie producer in Argo.
Hi, I'm Rachel.
I'm Liz.
I'm Sean.
And we are here to review Argo, the latest from actor, director, and Matt Damon BFF, Ben Affleck. So we've all just seen it. Sean?
So Argo depicts what's known as the Canadian Caper, about the CIA operation to rescue 6 American diplomats during the Iranian hostage crisis.
I'm going to go back to the fact that I'm what's wrong with America today.
Oh, good, yes.
And I need movies to tell me about history. And so I watched Argo, and I see this 5-minute introduction to the film telling me the history of Iran. And I need that. And I need to know what has caused the country to be the state that it's in 1979.
And it's nice. It's so nice, too, that you have more of like a justified view of what's wrong on both sides.
Yes.
It's not totally unbalanced. You know, they're showing things like, yes, some of these people are overreacting or some of these people are violent, but then they're showing also the Americans who have these horrible interviews where they're like, you know, yeah, we should just go over there and shoot everybody.
Right.
So
you see the passion on both sides and ignorance on both sides.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it basically strives to be completely apolitical, which I appreciate that. I mean, you have your own political viewpoints that you bring to the movie, and you'll get whatever you want to out of it if you really want to pull a political message out of it. And I was happy that the filmmakers themselves, who probably have specific points of view on this, didn't, you know, shove that in our face, and they just wanted to present a good story, and it is a very good story, and it's very well told.
There are only bad options. It's about finding the best one.
You don't have a better bad idea than this?
This is the best bad idea we have, sir. By far.
So our writer, Chris Terrio, who's actually a USC film school alum, I thought he crafted a wonderful story filled with incredible drama, but also really authentic dialogue. Like, there's all these great interactions between all of the guests of the embassy, the diplomats that are hiding out. And you get to see their inner world, and you get to see their real worries about being stuck in the same place for 70, 80, you know, however many days that they're stuck.
On the other side of the story, you have like the LA portion where people are setting up this fake movie. And it doesn't quite rip on the LA film community, but it shows these things that are so true. I feel like a lot of movies give you stereotypes and they don't give you details. I love that this movie gives you details, and they have jokes about like, oh, you couldn't be a producer. You could be associate producer maybe. You know?
Yeah,
there's just these little details that are amazing.
Little Hollywood in-jokes that, you know, certainly people who know the film business are really going to appreciate. There's a line where John Goodman says, you could teach a rhesus monkey how to be a director. That's a fantastic line.
Well, and those are lines that even if you're not an insider, like you can appreciate the specificity of it, and I think you can still appreciate the joke.
And I think it's great that he's saying that to Ben Affleck, who is the director of the picture.
You teach somebody to be a director in a day?
You teach a rhesus monkey to be a director in a day.
You basically have a story where it's impossible not to root for this mission to be successful. And so really, it doesn't necessarily need great characters or really in-depth characters because we're already on board with it. But I think that the Tony Mendez character, the Ben Affleck character, he's separated from his wife and his kid, and that's really it. He's not really wrestling with any demons beyond that, and I didn't really think that him as a protagonist was that interesting.
I do actually think he's wrestling with a lot, but the film doesn't dip into that because it is more fodder to deal with in terms of the dramatic elements of the story. The story is king, but there are scenes where Ben Affleck is sitting there and he's drinking and he recognizes the absolute seriousness of what he's dealing with.
Yeah,
those are great moments.
He's got moments where you're watching him realize, oh my goodness, I'm going to be responsible for these 6 people dying.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing about it is, like, I feel like he's a very whole, very complete character, even if we don't see those, you know, moments in depth. I never felt like he was flat. I never felt like he wasn't developed.
I think Alan Arkin blows it out of the water, if that's an expression. I thought he was amazing. I mean, Alan Arkin is always amazing, but what's so great is his scenes were so short, but he brought a history and he brought a future. It's almost as if he brought like an entire temporal line to every moment.
He brought all of Hollywood to those moments. I mean, he's playing this stereotype, but he's playing it as such an individual.
Alan Arkin and John Goodman are these 2 actors that you look for that are just always entertaining to watch.
And they have such great chemistry between the 2 of them. Their scenes are just wonderful.
Nobody does westerns anymore. It's ancient Troy. If it's got horses in it, it's a western.
It doesn't matter. It's a fake movie.
If I'm doing a fake movie, it's going to be a fake hit.
So this was directed, of course, by our star, Ben Affleck, and I've only seen The Town of the films that he's directed, but he was great directing The Town, and he was wonderful directing this. The strength of this film lies in the directing.
I think the pacing, for the most part, is really great, really fast. It just keeps rolling along. And I would have to agree that he did a really strong job in this film.
Specifically apolitical and definitely a crowd pleaser, Argo entertains, is one of the year's best, and I say, see it.
I think this is a movie that should be on everyone's radar. See it.
Argo is an excellent, well-done movie. See it.
How about that Benifer, huh?
Woohoo! This apple juice is good. This is one of the few movies where we're watching, and I kept looking back and forth. I was like, we all like this, right?